shelves that I had installed.
Presentation. Of course, Velvet Shell comes with 2 new geo operators, but also the new free map as well, and so many more improvements and features that are coming your way. But let's take a look at the content coming to Velvet Shell. So this time we're sailing to Ibiza, Spain with our new map, Coastline. During the day, you have this slow vacation ambiance on a sunny afternoon, like you're sipping a cocktail right by the poolside. But the pace picks up at night with Ibiza's famous party scene. And now let's take a look at these spawn points. Spawn point 1 is the first one where you have the main entrance, which is mostly accessible on foot with very little rappel. The second spawn point is the pool spawn that offers cover-cover approach for the attackers in order to reach the building alive. And now for the third one, you have the ruin spawn that features a sniper tower spot accessible from the get-go. And now what really makes this map special is that it is built around this inner courtyard to offer surround flow of combat for a final action-packed rush. Going through this area is very high risk, high reward for both attackers and defenders. Now, what really makes Coastline stand out is the colorful interior designs with strong thematics. So the players will be able to easily identify and communicate their location as well as their opponents. These rooms offer open spaces which allow for more gadget placement and fluid navigation. Rainbow Six Siege officially welcomes you to La Perla Blanca. Now let's get into our operators. We have Mira and Jackal, our 2 new geo operators from Spain. Now let's talk about Mira for a moment. She is our objective defender. Now Mira is an architect in the very sense of the word. On one side, she's able to strongly establish a position, bringing comfort to the team and line of sights, while on the opposite side, she creates a real threat by making life tough for enemies who dare to get close. And now on the other side, we have Jackal, who is the ultimate anti-roamer. We present you for the first time an operator specialized in giving intel on moving opponents. In Velvet Shell, roamers beware. We also have many tweaks and improvements coming your way in Velvet Shell, which releases on February 7th, 2017, this Tuesday. Are you guys excited about that? Woo! I'm excited. Now, we have some amazing invited guests here that are about to play on the Velvet Shell show match for you guys, so you get your first live look at Velvet Shell. But before that, we're going to turn to our designers here to talk a little bit about the gadgets and the map that we're about to see and some of the tactics. So I'm going to start off with you, Simon. Tell us a little bit about Jackal and his ability.
So yeah, Jackal comes equipped with a visor, which he can turn on and off at will. It doesn't run on a battery or anything. And when he does activate it, he's going to be able to see the footsteps left by the defenders.
No, we saw a little bit of that yesterday, and people have been sort of seeing that. But what else? We were hiding something, right? A little bit?
Oh yeah, we've been hiding a feature that's pretty cool about the gadget. So you're going to witness it in an instant. So as you've seen right now, Jackal is tracking his prey. He saw that the defender went up the stairs, and there he scans the footprints, and he can identify the target, and it pings him on his location.
That's pretty awesome. That's really crazy. And so how many times, how often does it ping the location of the opponent?
So when you put the hunter's mark on your opponent, he is pinged immediately, and then he's going to be pinged every 10 seconds for 30 seconds.
Wow.
So you can really track him down, even if he keeps on moving.
Nice. So one ping every 10 seconds for 30 seconds.
Exactly.
So you'll be able to sort of track his movement. If perhaps he's rotating to another side, you'll be able to see where he's
exactly.
rotating.
There's no hiding from Jackal.
Now, there's also going to be kind of an interesting play that we might see play out here in just a few moments during the full reveal, but it may actually, we'll be able to see some counter strats to that, maybe some trickery, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like when we design operators, we always keep in mind the interactions with the other operators. Like how can the other operators interact with him? And so Kavera, our ultimate roamer, when she uses silent steps, she actually doesn't leave any footsteps. So she will be able to have these like crazy mind games with Jackal.
That's really interesting. And then there's going to be a few other operators that might be able to disrupt his gameplay as well.
Yeah, exactly. Our good friend Mute, if Jackal steps into a zone of effect of the jammers, his vision is going to get blurred. He's not going to be able to see, so he will have to turn his visor off.
Wow, that's really crazy and really interesting. I cannot wait to see that. Maybe we'll see some interesting Kavera plays, maybe some Mute plays.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
We'll see about that. Anything else about his jammer that you wanted, or his gadget that you wanted to say?
Well, yeah. So he has a counter. Like we didn't want to let Jackal just like do the whole round with his with his visor on and have no counterplay to that. But when Jackal gets fired at him, he disrupts his visor in kind of the way Mute does. So like you have to be kind of careful. Like when you get close to your prey or like the defender, like the defender you're tracking, you might want to turn that visor off because it will affect you during the firefight.
That's really interesting and kind of a cool little disruption that you guys put in there. A little wrinkle
exactly.
that we're not usually see. We don't usually see that. So that will be really interesting to see. Now moving on to Mira, of course, our objective defender, our 3 armor objective defender. Tell us a little bit about Mira.
Well, Mira is our architect. We designed her from the get-go to be a side player. We wanted her to, bring the team together in setting up the defenses. Like, you can't just, if you pick Mira, you can't just put those mirrors everywhere. You have to coordinate with you. But now you can see like she's putting those black mirrors on reinforced walls, and there is a bulletproof window. But the key feature about this mirror is that she can see through it, her team can see through it on the side that she put it on the wall, but on the other side you won't see anything inside. You just have this black reflective surface. And so we really wanted her like to be able like to set up the defenses the way she wants and to make the approach for the attackers super hard. Like you have to be very cautious because like when you get in front of a black mirror, you have no clue. You have no clue if something.
But there's a little wrinkle you guys put in here, right?
Yes.
What does that do?
Well, when you can eject the mirror and then make plays from behind, so you always have this window of opportunity.
Window of opportunity. Simon with the great puns there.
And yeah, so she's also a playmaker, but this goes both ways. This canister, you can melee it or shoot at it, but everyone can do so. So like if an attackers get behind your defenses, you can actually eject the window and create this super dangerous line of fire on your side. So you have to be very wary and you have to defend those mirrors. That's super important.
That's going to be really interesting how that plays out and potentially some interesting play with Hibana as well that we might see. But that's really cool. Thank you so much for introducing Mira to us. Is there anything else that, how do you think that the strategy might play out with her and counter strategy?
It's going to be pretty interesting because like, the mirror is destructible. If you put a thermite charge around it, it's going to blow up. But you also have some interesting strats on the defense side of things. Like, there's a certain operator that we all cherish and love that got a buff the last December.
Yeah, I was about to ask, are we gonna see a Tachenka meta?
Well, Tachenka has this gigantic shield in front of his face, but now he's going to be able to have like a very safe line of fire through those ejected mirrors. So there's place for creativity. We might see.
Yeah, well, that will be really great. I see a LMG deployed sign out there with Tachenka fans. Do we have any Tachenka fans out here? Yeah. Woo! Nice. Awesome. So really interesting. Blitz mains are also going to be really happy about that, and mute mains for sure. That will be really cool. So once again, also I'd like to bring in Naj, senior level designer on Rainbow Six Siege. What's going on, Naj?
I'm pretty good, you?
Yeah, I'm doing great. So you have some tactical maps that you'd like to show us about.
Yeah.
Coastline.
So Coastline, we're going back to a medium to large scale map, two-story building, and actually brought a tactical board just to see some key elements on it. Obviously, you can see in blue the central courtyard where all the action is going to get to. It's really high risk, high reward, like you mentioned. Also, you can see that it's surrounded by very long corridors. So long line of sights in the middle, while you have a short line of sights on the side. And also, you have two sets of stairs, and they're really differentiated by the shape, so that the players know where they are in the map. So there's like an L-shaped one and a U-shaped one.
So yeah, right on this map, you see the north stairs is the U-shaped one, and the south
Exactly.
L-shaped.
It makes the transition between the two floors really choked and really hard, and especially that the stairs are situated near the bomb sites. So if you can see on the second floor, this is where all the hatches and the destructible floors are going to shine.
So we have four hatches. Plus insane amount of destructible floors.
Yeah. So it's a line of sight floors, of course, and four hatches. So we really want to make the destruction shine in terms of transition between the top floor and the bottom floor. And can't wait to see how the player will play with that.
That's going to be really interesting, especially since it's a tight map, right? It's quite close quarters.
It's close quarters on the outside perimeters. Right. You have like really long engagements in the middle. I think that's going to be interesting to see. And one cool thing as well is you have place to roam, but then you have Jackal introduced. So I can't wait to see how they're gonna.
So on Coastline, you'll be able to create the line of sights with Mira down the long hallways, and then track down the roamers on the opposite side with Jackal. That's going to be really interesting to see how that plays out and how the meta develops within the group.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit more about how the level design process works for you guys.
Well, we always try to keep in mind the operators that's going to come in. A good example was back in Border, we had like high ceilings and for Valkyrie cams. In this map, it's pretty much similar. Line of sights you can create with Mira, and also a good roaming hunting ground for Jackal. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Great. So I think our community influencers are all set up. We will go to introduce our two teams, and we're just about to get into the full reveal demo of Velvet Shell. Are you guys excited? Woo! All right. Let's go check out our teams. Or actually, let's go to the bomb site and check out the bombs for Coastline. Right after this. All right, so I'm just gonna talk a little bit more about how we go into the development of these operators. Where did the initial design come from?
So for year two, season one, we wanted to have, we wanted to go back to the roots of Siege. We wanted to have a defender that plays on reinforcement. Playing the sites. We like reinforce player site because we had like kind of a roamer heavy meta, and so we kind of went by. Let's say, how do we bring this back to the site? Like what all the Siege is about. So we went to. Like with Mira, we say like we're going to be able to set up defenses, and we're going to have like this advantage like when we stay on the site.
So where do these ideas come from? Is it just because you work on a team of amazing game designers? Where does that kind of stem from?
Well, first of all, like we're always discussing about the meta, how it is. We're talking with the pros, we're playing ourselves, and we look with our analysts too, our data analysts, who are very wonderful people, amazing at analyzing, and then we look at how like the picture of the scene, and then we say like where do we have a need? I think okay, we should have a side player. We did roamers, we had Kavera, we had like so. we just like talk it over, we lock ourselves into a room and we pitch ideas, a lot of bad ones, but a few good ones come out of top and we iterate on those.
That's really awesome. So just coming up after this break, we will get into the full reveal. So do not go anywhere, and we'll be right back.